Let's go. This is NBA GOATs. This is the GOAT crew. We are with Eric, Carolyn, my guy Felix, the Globetrotter, so we saw. And this is the second half, guys. The second half of the NBA 2022 season. We got a lot to talk about. We got some topics. How y'all feeling, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year to everyone here.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's so happy in the NBA right now, but we're going to have a look. All right. So basically, let's jump it off. We all had a little discussion this morning via WhatsApp in our group about the NBA top 10. Oh, my goodness.
Yes. The MVP candidates.
MVP candidates, power rankings for the MVP candidates top 10. And the list goes as follows. So I'm going to start at number 10, which I think is already a mess up. But
look at this, bro. Look at this.
All right. So starting way at the bottom of the list, number 10, we got none other than Eric's guy, Ja Morant. Number 9, Rudy Gobert.
Come on.
What?
That might be fair. Top 10 power.
But that's not. What kind of list is that, man?
Wait, let me keep going. This is NBA.com power rankings. Currently
No, it's not. No, it's not.
All right, we're going to fact check that. But I found it on Instagram this morning. Number 8, Chris Paul.
Okay.
Seems pretty solid. Number 7, his big brother, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Also pretty solid. DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6.
Mm-hmm. So happy for this guy.
I know a lot of people are going to shake their head, but Steph Curry is in the middle of the pack. Number 5.
Oh, no. What kind of list is that? Crazy, man.
On top of Steph Curry, Joelle Embiid, number 4. Nikola Jokic at number 3. Then we got Kevin Durant, number 2. And you guys, as expected, on top of the list, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I tried to say his name. I mean, he's been on top of the list the last few years. Wait, whose jersey is that?
My son.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's Giannis.
Oh, okay, it's Giannis. Okay, so we represent already, number 1. All right, so anybody want to set this off? Do you have any questions about this list? I mean, we can rearrange it.
What kind of list is that? Who made this up, man? It's crazy. Somehow, in only 2 weeks in this MVP letter, Steph Curry has lost 4 ranks, which is absolutely mind-blowing stupid. It's just idiotic. I have no idea what happened. But go ahead, guys.
All right. So, I mean, we can set it off like this. Eric, who would be your top 10 according to this list? How would you rearrange it? Who would you take off? I mean, like...
you want top 10? It might even
top
be
5.
It might even be those guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Ja that he's in, but I think he was hurt too much to be even mentioned. But it might be those guys. But let's say, okay, if I put my top 5 together, I still would have Steph on top. I would have KD just slightly under him, but probably, those guys are probably on the same height. And after that, I would have Giannis and Jokic, who plays great again. He's just awesome. And then I would put in, honestly, DeMar DeRozan. I think you should have. I always love when someone impacts winning, and he does. And he had those crazy game winners, 2 in a row, which never happened before. Even have you seen this? Have you seen this stat that there are there are not so many game winners in the last second game winners? Those buzzer beaters. Michael Jordan had 9 in his whole career. And guys like, I don't know, James Harden had 4 or something like that. And DeRozan had 2 in 2 games. That's pretty amazing, I think. So that would be mine. It would be Steph, KD, Giannis, Jokic, and DeRozan.
I got the same list, so.
Okay.
You got the same?
Yeah.
Well, that is a good choice.
Okay. Makes that easy.
And like you said, KD and Curry pretty close right there.
I mean, Steph, KD, Giannis, Jokic, and DeRozan. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My list is a little bit different, just because I'm more old school when it comes to the MVP ranking. For me, it's important that the player impacts the team, and record setting is also important. So my top 5 is KD as number 1. I have CP3 as number 2. My number 3 guy is Steph. My number 4 guy is Donovan Mitchell. And my 5th guy is Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah, Mitchell should be mentioned also, but the Utah Jazz are not that good this year, opposite to last year.
I mean, I think they're a 3rd or 4th seed right now in the West.
They're up there, but last year they were, I think they were on number 1, weren't they? Let me ask you something. Isn't Steph impacting the team probably more than anyone else? Why is he behind CP3?
Just because, again, because if you take CP3 out of Phoenix Suns, the Suns won't be in a conversation of being a number 1, number 2 team in the whole NBA. That's why I feel like CP3 impact at the moment right now is bigger than Steph's impact in terms of winning. Because when he got into the team, he turned the whole team around. I mean, they went to the finals his first year he got there. So
you don't think it's the same with Steph on the Warriors?
Yeah, but that's something we're accustomed to. But something that CP3 draws, that what CP3 did, it's not something we're accustomed to see. Okay. So
I think that's why a theoretical approach. But maybe if we have a look at the percentages, plus minuses on the floor, you might see a difference because Chris Paul is on a different level when it comes to being a point guard. When it comes to being a shooter and a baller, it's Steph. But Steph this season is struggling finishing. He's struggling a little bit more turnovers, even though he's still playing great. Chris Paul might be doing better than him in a few categories. And not to mention the team is playing really well as well. So power rankings individually and team probably have an effect on that part right there. Because Steph, what he had like 8 points, 4 assists, 4 turnovers, something like that. One game, and then one game, something like 14 points. I can't remember, got to fact check it. But his value went real down these games, and we called it the mid-season blues in the WhatsApp group, remember? And that's probably what it is, because oftentimes in the mid-season, dudes kind of burn out a little bit and rejuvenate after All-Star break or whatever it is.
But I don't get it. You said you were talking about plus minus. Steph Curry is the plus minus king in the NBA.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Chris Paul is up there. And he might be the king, but I'm sure Chris Paul is not far from.
Steph Curry is a plus 418. Second is Rudy Gobert. Third is Mikal Bridges, which is fun.
Nice.
Jaren Jackson is fourth. Giannis Antetokounmpo is fifth, and then there's Chris Paul with 352. So it's about 65, 66 points difference between Paul and Steph Curry.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
So that would be an argument for Steph Curry. If
for sure, why Steph Curry is in there as well. But we know why Steph Curry in there. We don't really have to.
Eric, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Don't you think that stats, the way we're doing it right now in our generation, current time, it's a little bit overblown?
I'm a guy. I think stats are stats. It's just information. It's information about what happens on the field. It doesn't tell the whole story, but it tells me a lot. And I think that if it's just one thing, then the one thing that it tells me is that a guy that has all the assists sometimes is not a guy that makes his team a lot better. Yeah. A lot of times, guys that have all those triple doubles, they are pretty much ball hogging all the time, and that's the difference between James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Steph Curry, who I think is the best player of them all because he kind of doesn't care. He doesn't care about getting the assist. He doesn't care about, he just cares about winning. And and every time he goes over the half court line, he has to be recognized from the defense. So he makes his team better because everybody has a lot more space. And that's the thing that you probably won't see except, let's say, in real plus minus. I think Steph Curry is incredible for his team, probably even more than I love Chris Paul, opposite to Caroline.
Well, no, he's a great player. I'm not denying that. So
yeah, but I love this fast-paced style of play, and usually statistics, they work for those teams more than it does for others. But I also love guys like Ja Morant. So I know there is a big discussion. I don't think that it's like in baseball where you try to build teams just because of statistics. I think it's a league of stars, and it still is. But I think stats, they do play a role, and it's good to have them.
Definitely.
Yes.
What do you think?
No, I do agree that stats do play a role, but I just feel like a lot of times we are making too much of an argument for stats, and we should also understand that when we see things that we don't see on a regular basis, we have to acknowledge that particular year, the particular form, that particular team, on the particular player. So when I mentioned example last year with the Phoenix Suns, and I'm not a fan of Phoenix Suns or Chris Paul by any means of imagination, no one would have thought or believed that they will go to the finals. No one thought or would have believed that Chris Paul would have the impact that he had on that team from day one. And if he would have replaced Chris Paul with everyone else, he would not have that impact on the Phoenix Suns as he did. No way. It could be Steph, it could be KD, it could be anyone. You can put anyone in there. No one would have believed that.
Crazy, Felix. Isn't that crazy? When he picked this team, everybody thought, hey, he could have gone to
anywhere.
He could have gone anywhere. And he picked this team, and nobody. I don't know. I thought, okay, he might want to help, like Kevin Garnett did in his last, I don't know, 1-2 years. He might want to help the young guys.
Thought he was going to become a Rajon Rondo, huh?
Yeah, he was going there to win the West, and he did. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, look. So go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm just saying that we need to go back to this phenomenon when we see something new, something refreshing that we don't see every day. We have to start acknowledging that and not back off and say and try to protect ourselves with stats, because that's a lot of times that's misleading.
You hear, Felix?
I think we might have lost.
No, but that's a nice picture of Felix, isn't it? Felix. Yeah.
It always do that, don't it? All right, so while he's stopped, like Chuck.
Here he is.
I can still hear everyone though, even though it's stopped. I can still hear everybody.
Oh shit! I should have pushed mute.
So,
all right, so
we've been with the list.
Let me drop my top guys real quick. Carolyn, you agree with Eric? You guys have Steph, KD, Giannis, Jokic, and DeRozan, which is nice.
Yeah.
Top 5. Felix came up with KD, CP3, Steph, Mitchell, Donovan, and Giannis. And I'm going to just go ahead and lay mine off. It's all 10. You know what I'm saying? Like
all 10. Well, there you go.
I didn't want to leave anybody off, so it ended up being 10. So, I mean, my guy is insane. And even if he have a few bad games, I understand if the league try to drop him off. But my guy, Steph Curry, is still number 1 on the list. Even though I don't pick his team to win, that guy is still balling enough to do it. You know what I'm saying? So he up there number 1 on the list for me. Number 2 is crazy. It came out of nowhere, but I've been watching this guy in the past few games, actually all season. And it is Joelle Embiid, guys. He is babying these boys out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, lately he been babying them. And I didn't think he would. I knew he would have to step up his offense, but I didn't know he'd be this crazy. KD, number 3. Number 4, Giannis. Number 5, Jokic. All right. Number 6, LeBron. LeBron is playing like MVP to me. I mean, I know the team is struggling, but LeBron, what is his 18th
Consistent.
season? He's doing his thing.
He just doesn't impact winning anymore that much that he used to.
I think he can't. I mean, it's 18th season. I mean, it's a different story for him. He's probably in a transition or something like that. I don't even know. Wrong. Definitely. We got Chris Paul, number 7. Number 8, I have Donovan Mitchell. Number 9, this guy been playing crazy. And like you said, Eric, he's been a little bit hurt. Ja Morant, 1 spot up for the 10th spot. But definitely a few weeks ago, I had him up at like number 5 in my head. I was like, this guy is definitely. And then DeRozan. And I really don't like DeRozan at all. I don't know why. He's just like, he makes everything. And I hate it. This guy don't miss, yo. He just be throwing jealousy. It up there. Yeah, that's jealousy. I'm jealous, DeRozan. But you still made my top 10.
He's such a nice guy, isn't he?
He's super nice. I hate him. Get out of here. I hate that you make all your shots. I hate everything about it. No, DeRozan, I'm just playing. If you ever watch our podcast, DeRozan, those were nice shots. I'm glad you're doing it in Chicago, because somebody got to do it.
Have you seen those 2 game winners of Ja Morant lately also? It was not buzzer beaters, but it was game winners. It was like, wow, against 3 persons, hang midair, putting it down, putting it up again.
That control was amazing.
He's just holding on until he can shoot it.
Yeah, I always thought he might have touched the ground before he left the ball, but it never, he never does.
He's floating. I thought Ryan was going to join as well. He said he was going to jump on. But
he's the one he's high on Kate.
Oh, yeah, JoJo or Brian? Or Ryan?
Ryan.
So high on cake. I thought you said. Are we recording? Let me get the hell out of here.